Drama, lahat ng tawanan, lahat ng iyong all-time hits. Ang tanging huntahan ng Masang Lamaw. Number 1 sa Mega Manila, nationwide pa. Broadcasting from TGN, TVH Group of Networks. Dito lang sa inyong iisang himpilan. Cool FM. You are listening to Cool FM, live from Cool Studios. This is Cool News at Noon.
Good afternoon and welcome to Cool News at Noon. Dead bodies were found around Capas Town and Tarlac City on Friday, July 5, but police cannot say yet if they were the missing Kapampangang beauty pageant contestant and her Israeli boyfriend. The Tarlac police refused to give details about the remains, including the exact location and how they were found. But a police source told Inquirer on Saturday morning that the dead bodies have yet to be identified. Another source said police have asked the family members of Coneva Lopez, age of 37, and Chichak Cohen, age of 37, to help identify the remains. Lopez and Cohen were missing in Tarlac after leaving the residence in Malabanyas village, Angeles City, on June 21 to meet a middleman to see the 20.5-hectare agricultural land the former Mid-Mutia ng Pilipinas sa Pampanga contestant was buying in Armenia village, Tarlac City. About 10 hours since the couple became unreachable to family via their mobile phones and social media, the silver Nissan Terra they were using was found burning along the Juangco Road in Barangay Cristo Rey, Capas. The Quezon police seized more than 7.3 million pesos worth of illegal drugs and arrested 78 suspected peddlers during their month-long operations in June. Quezon Police Chief Colonel Ledong Monte said in a report Friday, July 5, that anti-narcotics operatives in 39 towns and 2 cities in the province confiscated a total of 361 grams of shabu, or slang of for taltamin, and 37 grams of dry marijuana leaves in 76 bypass and recovery operations from June 1st to 30. The confiscated illegal drugs from the arrested traffickers were approximately worth 7,377,720 pesos in the street market, the report said. Two big-time shabu traders were also arrested in a bypass operation in the province capital Lucena City on June 14. Confiscated from the suspects was a total of 165 grams of shabu worth 3,366,000 in the street market at the preparing price of 20,400 pesos per gram. The police likewise arrested 151 waterfelons, 956 illegal gamblers, 110 illegal fishers, and 16 illegal loggers and coconut cutters, as well as 11 individuals with illegal firearms last month. Mount Canlon had 13 volcanic earthquakes during the last 24-hour monitoring of the Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or PhilVolcs. The state seismology reported Saturday, July 6. PhilVolcs also said the volcano discharged 2,578 tons, or 2,338 metric tons of sulfur dioxide on Friday, as it detected moderate emission of a 200-meter plume that drifted in a southwest and north direction. Since Mount Canlon is still under alert level 2, PhilVolcs repeated its reminder that entry into the permanent danger zone and flying any aircraft close to the volcano remain prohibited. The agency said Canlon volcano's threat of a sudden speed-driven or sporadic eruption remains. The World Health Organization's cancer agency on Friday classified talk as probably carcinogenic for humans. However, an outside expert warned against misinterpreting the announcement as a smoke gun. The decision was based on limited evidence that could cause ovarian cancer in humans. Sufficient evidence it was linked to cancer in rats and strong mechanistic evidence that shows carcinogenic signs in human cells. The WHO's International Agency for Research on Cancer said Black is a naturally occurring mineral which is mined in many parts of the world and is often used to make talcum baby powder. Most people are exposed to talc in the form of baby powder or cosmetics, according to the Illinois-based IARC. But the most significant exposure to TLC occurs when TLC is being mined, processed, or used to make products. It added. The agency said there were numerous studies which consistently showed an increase in the rate of ovarian cancer in women who used talc on their genitals. But it could not rule out that the talc in some studies was contaminated with cancer-causing asbestos. A causal role for Tulsi could not be fully established according to the agency's findings published in the Sunset Oncology. Kevin Conway, a statistician at the UK's Open University not involved in the research, warned that for the IARC's evaluation, the most obvious interpretation is actually misleading. The agency is only aiming to answer the question of whether the substance has the potential to cause cancer under some conditions that IARC do not specify, he said. Because these studies were observational and so could not prove causation, there isn't a smoking gun that the talc use causes any increased cancer risk, he added. The announcement comes just weeks after U.S. pharmaceutical and cosmetics giant Johnson & Johnson agreed to pay $700 million to settle allegations it misled consumers about the safety of its toluene-based powder product. Johnson & Johnson did not admit wrongdoing in its settlement, even though it withdrew the product from the North American market in 2020. A summary of studies published in 2020 covering 250,000 women in the United States did not find a statistical link between the use of calcium and on the genitals and the risk of ovarian cancer. Also on Friday, the IARC classified arlignotril, a chemical compound used to make polymers, as carcinogenic to humans, its highest warning level. It cited sufficient evidence linking arlignotril to lung cancer. The polymers made with acrylonitrile are used in everything from fibers in clothes to carpets, plastics, and other consumer products. A local legislator in Cebu has raised the issue of growing frustrations among witnesses in crucial legal investigations, particularly regarding corruption inside Cebu City Hall, involving the unauthorized printing and selling of PWD persons with disability IDs. City Council James Quinsco cited persistent delays in scheduling as a barrier to justice for residents. He She stated that these prolonged delays in city legal proceedings have left witnesses and their testimonies in limbo. He expressed the emotional toll on witnesses and how prolonged delays have sapped their morale and hope. The counselor advised the city legal department to prioritize the diligent pursuit of the investigation. He requested that if difficulties arise, recommendations be provided on how to proceed with those involved and suggested exploring collective measures. And for the cool weather, the Philippine Atmospheric Geophysical and Astronomical Service Administration forecasts that three weather systems are affecting the country and are expected to bring rains over portions of Luzon, Visayas, and Mindanao on Saturday, July 6. The Intertropical Convergence Zone, or convergence of winds from the northern hemisphere to the southern hemisphere, easterlies or winds blowing from the Pacific Ocean, and thunderstorms will cause cloudy skies with rain showers in many parts of the country, according to Pagasa weather specialist Daniel J. Villamil. Easterlies or winds coming from the Pacific Ocean will bring clouds and rain to the eastern section of southern Luzon, Villamil said. For the rest of the country, including the rest of Mindanao and the rest of Luzon, we can expect clear weather. It will be hot and humid throughout the day, but there is still a high chance of thunderstorm activity in the late afternoon to evening, he added. Pagasa also issued its predicted temperature ranges in key cities and areas of the country for June 7. These are Manila with 25 to 33 degrees Celsius, Baguio City 17 to 25 degrees Celsius, Lalok City 26 to 33 degrees Celsius, Tuguegarao with 25 to 35 degrees Celsius, Legazpi City 26 to 32 degrees Celsius, Procesa City 25 to 22 degrees Celsius, Tagaytay 23 to 21 degrees Celsius, Calayan Islands 26 to 32 degrees Celsius, Iloilo City 25 to 32 degrees Celsius, Cebu 26 to 31 degrees Celsius, Tacloban City 26 to 32 degrees Celsius, Cagayan de Oro City 24 to 32 degrees Celsius, Zamboanga City 24 to 33 degrees Celsius, and Davao City 25 to 33 degrees Celsius. Pagasa did not raise any gale warnings over any seaboards nationwide. It is now 12 minutes after 12, and we will be right back for more headlines. Stick around. Welcome back. Now let's get into the international headlines. Joe Biden headed out questions about his mental fitness and ability on Friday in a TV interview meant to draw a line under a disastrous debate performance that triggered calls for him to quit his re-election bid. With rebellion brewing among some nervous Democratic voters, lawmakers, and donors, the one-to-one with the ABC network was hyped as the most consequential of the 81-year-old president's long career. But the 22-minute sit-down appeared to provide little reassurance as Biden blamed sickness for his subpar performance and repeatedly dismissed polling and fears within his party that the debate had gravely wounded his prospects. I was sick, I was feeling terrible, I just had a really bad cold, said the president in his first unscripted remarks of any length since last week's showdown with Republican rival Donald Trump. The interview was intended to help Biden weather the storm, but his hoarse voice and murmuring answers drew immediate Democratic fire for appearing out of touch. Asked if seeing the race might jeopardize Democrats holding on to the White House, Biden said, "I don't think anyone's more qualified to be president or win this race than me." He judged calls to have doctors assess his mental acuity, saying that the duties of the presidency mean I have a cognitive test every single day. Every day I have that test, everything I do. The Trump campaign mockingly posted on social media the Biden sounds great as the broadcast went out, before concluding the president is in denial and in decline. The interview came after Biden was hesitant and often incoherent during the debate against Trump at Atlanta, leading to panic within his party and called for him to pull out of the race. The Biden campaign has pushed back hard on any suggestion he may withdraw, and just hours before the ABC interview, released an aggressive campaign travel schedule for the rest of July. Appearing at the campaign rally in Madison, Wisconsin, the president delivered an energetic stump speech, unequivocally declaring, "I am staying in the race. I will beat Donald Trump." Post-debate polls have shown a widening deficit in Trump's favor, and at least four Democrats in Congress have called on Biden to step aside, as have major newspapers, donors, and the rift of Democrats supporting political commentators. Senate Intelligence Committee Chairman Mark Warner and House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries were both planning crisis talks with lawmakers in the coming days, U.S. media reported. In Friday's interview, ABC host George Stephanopoulos repeatedly referenced the growing Democratic clamor for conversation on picking a new candidate, asking Biden if he would step down in convinced he couldn't pick Trump. "Well, it depends. If the Lord Almighty comes down and tells me that, I might do that," he said. Biden added that he had not watched the debate afterward, saying, "I don't think I did, no." And he dismissed the idea that his poor performance was a sign of a more serious health problem. "It was a bad episode, no indication of any serious condition. I was exhausted. I didn't listen to my instincts in terms of preparing, and I had a bad night," Biden said. David Axelrod, a top aide in Barack Obama's White House and an occasional thorn in the side of the Biden administration, said the interview showed a president dangerously out of touch with concerns over his fitness for office. 4 years ago at this time, he was 10 points ahead of Trump in polls. Today, he is 6 points behind, Axelrod posted on X. The White House has announced Biden will visit Pennsylvania this weekend before holding a press conference during the NATO summit in Washington next week. Six African leaders called Friday for the United Nations to prioritize a decade of planting trees to combat climate change, according to a declaration released at the end of the summit in the Republic of Congo. The declaration said the leaders had urged the adoption of the resolution by the 79th General Assembly of the United Nations to officially endorse the plan ahead of the annual gathering in New York in September. Gold Coast capital Brazzaville hosted days of talks this week that brought together experts, representatives of indigenous populations, and technical and financial partners. Six leaders attended the summit, which is part of an African and global decade of afforestation and reforestation launched by Congolese President Denis Sassou and Nguesso at COP27 in Egypt in 2023. Sassou Nguesso was joined by his counterparts including Nana Akufo-Addo of Ghana, Omaro Sissoko Embalo of Guinea-Bissau, Faustin Archange Ardera of the Central African Republic, Brice Oligui Nguema of Gabon, and Sahle-Work Zewde of Ethiopia. A Brazzaville declaration released at the conclusion of the summit called on the UN to realize the crucial importance for the planet of the initiative to plant more trees to combat climate change and its consequences. Leaders also called on the UN to hold an international conference on reforestation biennially and on a rotating basis from one contingent to another, according to the text, which was read out by Congo's Minister for Forest Economy, Rosalie Matondo. This conference seems to be the beginning of a process of research and a life-saving response. The situation we already know, climate change, remains worrying, Sassou Nguesso said. The need for action is clear. It's all about the will to act and putting in the necessary effort, he added. The great challenge today is not only to stop the disappearance of forests, but also to restore those that have disappeared and then create new ones, said Morasa Faki Mahabat, chairman of the African Union Commission. And in entertainment news, OPM singer Ted Mandela was called up by his former manager Anita Mercado, who asserted that he made some innuendos about her and her family in his new song "Wish You the Worst." She called the singer ungrateful toward the family that she said took care of him. In a Facebook post, Mercado said she wouldn't let Mandela get away with it. So I'm doing my business and moving on with my life of positivity, joy, and peace, and trying to ignore positive flights. But a friend sent me a song once and for all. I am putting an end to this. Since he went public via a song, I am no longer going to keep quiet about this person. I am naming him, don't worry. This song is about relationships, but we're not dumb to think it's not about us, the very family who took good care of him and of him from the day he set foot in Manila. So yeah, I am not playing the game of this ungrateful man anymore, she lamented. Mercado asserted that the OPM singer had the tendency to play the victim as she dared him to publicize everything. Wish You the Worst, one of his new songs, tells you so much about the kind of the person the singer truly is. Title pa lang, he invested in negativity na. It's full of negativity, hate, and bitterness, always playing the victim when he is the offender. He's always played the game if the show fits. Well, sorry, I don't want to play. I don't hide behind songs that goes with double meaning, she argued. So here it is. Dead Mandela, don't stunt me with a song. But pangtintigan mo yan, ha? Let's go to the press and tell all. If you don't want to, I will. I think people want to know the truth. Share until this reaches him because he blocked all of us, added the manager. In the comment section, Mercado revealed that he managed Mandela for 23 years and her family loved the singer unconditionally. I have managed him for 22 years and he is what he is right now. That's the business side. I have known him since birth and me and my family love him unconditionally like a son and brother, and he chose to disrespect. That, for me, is my closure. End of the line, she wrote. Other incidents also expressed respect for Mandela, with some raising issues concerning money. And that is it for koolNews at noon. As always, you can send a news tip to us at tvh.philippines.news@gmail.com. And we will be back with more headlines later with koolNews at 4 p.m. Until then, I am Asper, and this has been koolNews at noon. Good afternoon.